good evening, good afternoon, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Press Start Podcast. I want to go ahead and thank everyone who has come by already. If you haven't, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. We also have plenty of other material to watch through if you wish, not only podcast, but in videos. We'll hopefully be coming out with another video soon, and we might even be coming out with a Rage compilation. I don't know. It's been up in the air. I've been thinking about it, but at the same time, that's not what I want to be known for. So there's a lot of stuff coming. We got quite a bit of stuff to talk about today. We have with us Jack, also known as Business Time 15 on Twitch. We'll have his Twitch in the description below. Jack, how you doing?
Time 15.
I just turned the sound onto your mic, and that was horrifying. So
happy to be here.
Good. I hope so. Jack's been pretty solid on being with inside the podcast. As you can tell, this is a slightly different podcast this time. So this time you guys can see my face. Whenever we go to what I have up here on my screen for you guys, I'll switch it, of course, and we'll go to that. Until we get a great studio, you're gonna just have to deal with me figuring it all out. You know, we've been working on stuff.
We could.
Mm-hmm.
You could set up a scene on Streamlabs with a screen capture, and you could screen capture your other monitor and just have it as my camera on Discord.
Yeah,
I've done that before.
Yes,
it worked pretty well.
I can. I've actually been thinking about doing that. One of the things is I have to do it and set it up before time, because if I wanted to set it up now, I would have to literally flip my PC, and I'd have to hold my head at a weird angle just to fix the problem, and then from there go do that real quick, and then try to flip it back, and that's just precious time wasted. But for sure, next podcast definitely gonna happen that way for sure. This is definitely a way I would like to do it from now on.
Facts.
Yeah, some bigger updates. I think from what I understand, I start my new job next week. So, or technically this week, because it's Sunday right now when we're recording this. It's technically Monday. It's 12:06 right now, but anyways, so I start my new job pretty soon here. So in the next couple of days, I'll be working. It'll be great. Now, with that being said, things are going to be changing a lot. When I stream, I'm still going to try and keep to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday streaming time. This way, you guys can still see me on my regular times, and I don't have to change it so much. Although the time's going to change, so it's not going to be later at night. It's going to be more like in the evening kind of time. It's only probably going to be about 2 hours, maybe 2.5. Now on Fridays, however, we will do late night streams. So what we'll probably do is wait till about 10 and do the normal stream time at 10. So, unless I have work on like that Saturday for some overtime or something, it'll be 10 p.m. The other ones, I don't know yet until I get into a rhythm and understand what's going on as far as like my work schedule. That's when I can decide on how to do it. So good news is we'll still have the 3 days. We're also still going to have the podcast, and we're also still going to have at least one video coming out a week for sure, and then possibly another video coming out a week, or at least every other week, of either Call of Duty gameplay, Overwatch gameplay, League gameplay, whatever we're doing, maybe even a skit. Right now I don't have a lot of time to film a skit because there's quite a few skits I want to film, but I do have to get those written up still. I mean, they're still in my thinking cap.
Yeah, chat, like that Rage compilation, just let me say, is gonna be fire. And if he doesn't make it, I promise I will make it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes them and sends it to me and be like, hey.
It's gonna be fire.
Yeah, I've had some times. We've also been thinking about redoing some of the stream audio, so Jack's probably going to find... Go ahead, sorry.
Let's have a moment in this podcast, you asked me earlier, to go over how to deal with tilt. Ways you can deal with tilting and raging.
Oh, okay. Okay, go
What
for
can
it.
you do? Oh, okay, we're
First
doing it
thing,
right
just
now.
don't. Yeah, first
Okay.
thing, just don't play the game.
You know
Period.
what
Whatever
happens
game.
when you're playing Warzone
Mm-hmm.
and like you die and like you get mad. You try to break your equipment. You try it all. It's just
Yeah,
not going your way.
100%.
How do you get over the tilt in the moment?
In the moment,
How do you
I
deal with
definitely
how
don't.
do you deal with it?
I definitely don't deal with it in the moment. Like, I think the one time that I did try to deal with it, I put it on BRB for everyone, and I was like, "Look, I'll be back. Give me a minute." And I had to leave. I got some water. I grabbed myself a Cliff Bar. I sat there in silence while you guys listened to music, and I just ate that, chilled out for a second, kind of mellowed out. I think I was just hangry pretty much at that point in time in the stream, so I just went ahead and rolled with it. And yeah, I mean, that's the best I can tell you that I did. So as far as that goes, yeah, it was definitely a bit rough. Definitely a bit rough. I've been thinking about trying to get around that now. I mean,
Think
I'm be
Steve could
working
try
around.
a stress ball.
No,
Uh,
absolutely not. They don't work at all.
I use a stress ball. It does work.
It doesn't work for me.
Totally works. I use a minion stress ball.
Oh no. Yeah, no. I've tried using stress balls. They don't do anything. I've tried doing the counting thing. Doesn't do anything. It's just rage, man. It's just rage. It just gets to the point where Call of
Have
Duty
you ever
just
tried the
so
grounding
hard.
technique of find four colors, like find something red, find something blue, find something green, find something yellow.
Yeah, no, I haven't
Cycle
tried that
through
because that's
until you're chilled out, until you're ready for your team to res you.
I haven't tried that because usually that's used on people who have extreme PTSD. That is not used for anger management
It
at all.
still helped there. Yeah,
I
it could
don't know.
help.
I don't know.
It could help.
We'll figure it out. But seriously, we might have a rage compilation. If I could English, that'd be great. Words are hard, as my friend Grant likes to say. Um, I also, and I'm sorry guys, it has been super delayed, but I still have to work on new merch for everyone, and that's what I've been working on. I've been thinking about getting it done, so from there on, we'll figure it out. Okay, we'll get it figured out. So gonna get merch, but we'll have a podcast every week. Normal stream days every week, but it'll be chimes will be changed on Monday and Wednesday. Friday should stay the same, unless I have to work that Saturday now. Um, we should have some kind of gameplay or a breakdown or a how-to at least once a week or every other week, something like that, and hopefully that'll kind of just like run us into a good smooth rhythm. Really, I would like to bring on quite a couple people, but it's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna take a lot of effort, and right now I just need to build up money and stuff like that. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get into some of the stuff that I brought up. Now you can see me, which is definitely different setup than usual, which is fine. So uh, that should be good. So I'm pretty excited for the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I think that's one thing that I would love to play, especially on PlayStation 5. Now, of course, I'm gonna have to wait a little while to get the PlayStation 5, based on paychecks and based on bills and a bunch of other stuff. But if I can, I will try to wait it out and see if they come up with a special edition for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Something tells me they will. If they don't, Xbox will. That's just one of those things that console people do all the time for some reason. I don't know. But I've got 3 different articles talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We'll get into some of that. So I'm really excited. It looks good. I haven't played Odyssey or Origins at all. I would love to play those ones. I heard Origins was great. I heard Odyssey was kind of iffy because of storyline was kind of bouncing around and stretched way too long. There wasn't like a really good rhythm to it. But as far as like aesthetics and gameplay, as far as aesthetics and movement and stuff, it felt good. So I don't know. Haven't played them, so
I'm hopeful because like the last two were a lot better than I thought they were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I know like well, from what I saw of the game, like the gameplay definitely could have been better. But I mean, everything else was pretty on point. Like it had everything people play Assassin's Creed for. And they did it really well.
Right. Yeah, I was excited about those two. Now, I'm really excited. I was excited about Odyssey, and I haven't gotten to play it, and I haven't got to play the Egyptian one. I was excited about those two because as a kid, I was really big into Greek, Roman mythology, Egyptian mythology, Norse mythology. I mean, I was into like I was really into those. So when those came out, I was like, man, that is great. And then, there was the God of War series, which I love the God of War series because it tapped into that Greek mythology, which was amazing, by the way. Um, and then we got into they went to Viking territory on the God of War, which was amazing, and it really hit home, and it really made a connection. I loved it. It was great. So the fact that Assassin's Creed is now coming out with a Viking thing, because for some reason in the past 5-6 years, Viking like material shows, movies has been like popping off, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the time, maybe it'll fade, but for some reason Viking stuff has just been nailing it. And some people don't know, but some people do. I'm of multiple origins, but Viking, Swedish, is a very big part of my heritage. So when I see like Viking stuff, I'm like, man, I really hope this is accurate. And the majority of the time, they get a lot of things pretty accurate, especially when it comes to mythology and a bunch of other stuff and the way things happened. But yeah, no, I really do like Viking stuff. A lot of people recently have really been big into Viking things, TV shows. I'm seeing a lot of TV shows that are Viking stuff, movies on Netflix right now. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. So I mean, it's skyrocketed, and then it's jumping into games now, which is great. Games have been doing great now. If you got something having to do with Norse mythology, if I could English, in your games, perfect game. But no, so we're gonna go ahead and get in. So we're looking at PC games right here. This website, PCGamesand.com. We're looking at, so they're saying Assassin's Creed Valhalla release times and preloaded details revealed. So I'm assuming when there's going to release on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, how long it's going to take, stuff like that. So basically, Ubisoft have brought the final details to Assassin's Creed Valhalla release times. So if you want to play the latest in the open world games, the second it's available, blah blah blah, they've got it, including the multiple PC launchers and its own separate rollout. It's complicated, I guess, as each platform. Ubisoft Connect, rebranded Uplay launcher. You'll be able to play on November 9th at 2100 PST, which is, let me do the math here, so 12, 11, 8, I think that's right, yeah, 8 on November 9th, and then so that would pretty much be today, actually. Wow, today it went up. And then November 10th, Eastern Standard Time at midnight. So in Europe and the Middle East, I didn't know the Middle East got this game. The game will be available November 9th, 2300 UTC, or November 10th at 1201 CET. I'm not sure. Central Eastern Time. I really know. In Asia and Oceania, the game launches November 10th, same time. Epic Game Store will have single global release November 10th, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11. I'm assuming this is 8 p.m. because they don't have like an AM or PM. So I'm going to go with PM, guys. So forgive me here if I end up being wrong. 11 EST, 1600 UTC, 1700 CET, or November 11th at 3 AEDT. I don't really know what those stand for as far as like time zones wise. Preloads are now available on both PC platform, and you're looking at a download of 45 gigabytes. So good news, guys. It's not going to be like trying to download Warzone. That is horrifying. Okay, Warzone is stupid big. It's insane. So good news is it's not going to be like that.
Warzone is stupid.
Oh, it's
Period.
stupid big. Which good news. We have news on that, by the way. If you guys haven't gotten around to that. So basically, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will unlock at midnight local time, no matter where it is in the world. You are on Xbox, PlayStation consoles, and on Stadia, which I'm actually surprised. I didn't know they would go. I didn't know it would go on to Stadia. Basically,
Wow.
so you're gonna be able to play it. So as of pretty much right now, you can play it. It is live. You can get it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's great. So we're gonna go to
Do you have to play all the others before it? Probably not.
probably
Right.
not. I mean, it's got its own storyline, but for some reason they just kind of like tossed out the Apple of Eden, that whole entire storyline, the entire original storyline. After Assassin's Creed 3 during the Revolutionary War, it just kind of went downhill for a while.
Yeah. That's why I thought they were gonna suck. And then like all of a sudden it got good again. I was like, oh. Well,
Yeah.
that was a pleasant surprise, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they went like, what was it, 2, 3 games? I think it was like Black Flag and something else. I can't remember, but I got those for free from Ubisoft because they were free for a short time because they were like, hey, we want you guys to stay home during the pandemic. Here's free games. And I was like, I'm not going to be home because I have to work, but thank you for the free game. So I think they even did that with Batman, all the Batman trilogy, the Arkham Asylum, and all that. I got those for free too.
Oh, those games are
Mm-hmm.
so goddamn good.
They clap some major cheeks.
Yeah.
They are amazing. So we got Assassin's Creed Valhalla full list of trophies released. So the full list of trophies will be available on Assassin's Creed Valhalla has been revealed. You can see that over at PSN Profiles. The final list contains dozens of trophies that will be available in the final release. But be warned, the list contains spoilers, plenty of the game's actual content, so tread with caution if you're trying to have a completely fresh Assassin's Creed Valhalla experience, which I am. That's why I'm not going to read you guys the list of the trophies, because honestly, that's kind of a dick move. And if I say, hey, spoiler alert, and it's already up on the screen by the time I say that, yeah, it's going to be kind of a shitty day. Basically, the list includes a variety of trophies, including for completing the prologue, completing storylines and arcs, defeating certain enemies throughout the game. It can be anticipated that many of these will be unlocked in the first playthrough, but true blue players will have to put in work if they want to win every prize. I mean, I think it'll be a great game. Assassin's Creed Valhalla sees the players taking on the role of Viking raider known as Eivor. I'm assuming that's how you say it correctly. The latest in the line of Assassin's Creed protagonists. The game's main structure will be based on a series of main story missions and optional side missions. So basically, Assassin's Creed. You can see from the list that earning trophies will involve completing both side missions and main quests, with plenty of round up as you lose hours upon hours to Eivor's quest of Viking expansion. Players will be able to live out their Viking fantasies as soon enough. I don't think they will. I don't think they understand how they phrase that very wrongly, because people have some weird fantasies and it involves rape. So I'm just saying right now, I don't think they understand like the Viking fantasies and what Vikings did during that time period. So I'm just saying, might want to have a better choice of words. I'm sure they meant it not harmingly, but there's some messed up stuff that was done. Trust me. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is due to release November 10th, so pretty much today. You can get it anywhere right now. Alongside the release of the equally highly anticipated Xbox Series X, it will be released for the next gen PS5 2 days later on November 12th. So I'm really excited. I really want the PlayStation 5, but I can't afford it right now, which is fine. So I'm just gonna wait, and hopefully they'll have a Assassin's Creed Valhalla edition, or maybe I wait and the next God of War comes out and they have a special edition for that. You bet your sweet booty I would get that over the Assassin's Creed Valhalla one.
Ooh.
But because I don't know if you guys have seen, but Death Stranding special edition of the PlayStation 4 and the God of War special edition of the PlayStation 4, both were beautiful looking consoles. I mean, they looked great. They looked amazing.
Dude, Kratos' abs in those were like
Oh, he's shredded.
thick. Yeah, just
Dude's-
absolute shredded.
Dude's thick boy shredded. Like
Yeah,
that's that. I have fat, but I'm shredded.
the
Oh.
6'8" frame,
Yeah,
the 6'8" frame, the shredded,
100%.
pretty much literal god.
Yeah, dude, shredded. I mean, just the physical aspects of everything, and just it looks beautiful. Assassin's Creed Valhalla 2-hour gameplay stream goes from Norway to England. So basically, from what we understood from reading this article, in the very beginning, you start to understand his life going from Norway all the way to England, and then you end up. So basically, I'm not going to spoil it too much, and I'm not going to go over this video because I've looked at this video and it is over an hour and a half long. But this was on the Xbox and not on the PlayStation, so I have no idea, what's the big difference in the two. So I'll go ahead and read what we have here. Says, while you wait, basically, to get it or whatever, you can get early parts of Eivor story. Ubisoft capped off its colorful named Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Odin's Hootenanny event with an extensive live gameplay session running the Xbox Series X. The stream starts from the very beginning of the game with a look at Eivor in their happy childhood. Then it rolls into the early days of Eivor exploring Norway in search of vengeance, skipping forward to show what the game looks like once Eivor is the leader of an establishment settled in England, which there's a huge war in England with Swedes and the Danes, is what they called them. Basically, all the Norse people called them Danes. Huge, yeah.
Oh, that's tasty right there.
Yeah, you might hear Jack randomly going, because he's slamming down a good margarita. How is that margarita, dude?
It's a Raze energy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it a Raze energy?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, which one you got?
Steve, what's your favorite? What's your favorite
My
Raze energy?
my favorite Raze energy.
I'm going with good old fashioned strawberry colada.
That one's really good. That is actually my second favorite. My main favorite is Baja Lime. That's what it is. I couldn't remember. It's Baja Lime is my all-time favorite. It slaps. It's good.
I mean, they all slap though. Like honestly,
no,
they all slap.
They don't all slap for me. And I'll be honest, and I've been honest. Like, these have really good drinks. There's one that I won't drink from them, and that's great bubblegum. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a shitload of people for some reason that think it tastes good. Me, I'm not a very big grape drink person. It's just not something I drink. But nonetheless, they have really good flavors. I mean, maybe you might like the strawberry, the grape bubblegum. But basically, my top three goes from number 1 being Baja Blast, number 2 strawberry colada, and number 3
Baja Lime.
Baja Lime. Jesus Christ, I can't even English today. It's bad. So Baja Lime being my number 1,
dude,
second one being strawberry colada.
You literally said a Spanish word. Like, yeah, you can't English.
Yeah, I can't English. So Baja Lime, number 1 for sure. Number 2 would be strawberry colada, and number 3 would be Voodoo. Voodoo is more so. Strawberry colada is kind of.
Dude, I'm looking at that one right now. It looks like it's forbidden.
Dude, it's delicious. It's like an orange cream. Like, orange cream popsicles? It's like that,
yeah.
but in an energy drink form. It is delicious, by the way.
That's not what I would expect, but
yeah, it's good.
That sounds good.
Strawberry colada, it's just how it sounds. It's like a strawberry pina colada, and it tastes better than pina colada. I don't like pina coladas, but that was delicious. I love that one. Number 1, Baja Lime. Tastes better than Baja Blast, and that sounds like a sin, but I have to say it. Tastes better than Baja Blast. But no, seriously, guys, it's amazing. So I haven't crashed on it. 0 sugars, 0 carbs, 0 artificial colors. It's amazing. It's great. You guys will love it 100%. If you don't love it, then you're just dumb. Period. It's a great drink, great energy drink. You don't crash off of it. You don't feel like garbage after you drink it. It's all around a great energy drink. Now, you can get it usually at GNC and some local stores. Currently, I'm trying to figure out how to work with a few local mom and pop shops to see if they would like to start selling it, and that'd be great because it would help me out. But nonetheless, guys, that's usually what you can find it as GNC, or you can go into the description below. There will be a link to the website. Now, on the website, they have a plethora of different things: t-shirts, The energy drinks, pre-workouts, thermogenics drinks for like weight loss and stuff. They've got a bunch of stuff on their website, so it's all up to you. They even got stuff for sleep, which is odd for an energy drink company, but they got a bunch of stuff there. Seriously, guys, go there. The website's right down in the description. You can use my discount code, which is in the very bottom.
I drank a Raze before my workout once. Pretty much deadlifted 400 pounds.
Cannot guarantee you will be able to deadlift after drinking that. Just saying.
That's.
I cannot condone. I cannot say, hey, you will 100% be able to deadlift 400 pounds after drinking.
Nah, maybe 300.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't do 300, but I can definitely do it.
But no, it's a solid energy drink. I mean, it definitely keeps me going, and it keeps me like solid, like really good and steady. No big issues. It's a nice energy drink for real. So, but yeah, the link will be in the description if you want to go there, and you'll get a 15% discount if you use my code when you go to checkout and stuff. So that'll also be in the description, which is going to be Baby Cthulhu 10. So if you haven't already, go ahead and do that. It's amazing. It's delicious. You get a bunch. I'm sure they'll have a sale pretty soon here because of the holidays and stuff. Plus my discount on top of that. Guys, you'll be hitting some banger stuff when some more deals come out, though. I'll let you guys know.
You're almost stealing it from them. Like, almost.
Almost?
Yeah, I mean, you're almost stealing it from them at that point. Like, all those discounts, like, whew,
yeah.
That's crazy.
It's basically
that's absolutely
huge,
crazy.
Huge steal. Huge steal. And basically when you use that, it helps me out and it helps you out. So just keep that in mind, all right? Just keep that in mind. So now that we've gone through our Assassin's Creed and we've done our wonderful little segment here where we talked about my ambassadorship here with Raze Energy, which I've been looking about editing something in there so it just rolls by on my stream and on the screen for you guys. But nonetheless, so let's go ahead and get to the next item, which is going to be the Mass Effect series, which I wasn't big into. I haven't really played any. They looked really good. From what I hear, is Andromeda was horrifyingly bad. I guess
one of the worst AAA titles ever released, probably.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've read. But however, there's going to be a Mass Effect Legendary Edition announced for 2021. So there's some rumors leaked. Retail listings.
It was like one of those games that comes out and you know something crazy happened.
Right.
It was that bad. Like, you're like, what happened?
Dang. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So after retail listings, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition has finally been announced for spring of 2021. Announced on N7, number 7 day, I guess. A day where BioWare has done some shitty games lately. And they have been horrifying. I can't even remember the last Bio game I had. I think it was like 2016. They came out with one. It was like a really, really good. It looked hype. It was kind of like a Halo mixed with basically. Let's see here. I can't even think of the other game I'm trying to compare it to. What the hell is happening to my brain right now? Let me go ahead and look up BioWare games for you guys because
I'm looking them up because I forgot who they were. Dragon Age, Mass Effect.
They make quite Anthem.
Star Wars, the Old Republic.
Yeah. Okay. So I couldn't remember, but now I remember. So it was Anthem. Anthem was the game that came out in 2019. I thought it came out in 2016. I was fucking wrong. But I got it in 2019 when it came out, and I got it really close to release date. So the day it came out, I think I got it like 2 days after because I got paid. Horrible game. I mean, it was bad. I mean, we all had huge hype for it, and it just bombed. It was horrifying. I literally sold it the next day. It was so
Yikes.
bad. I literally took it to a game exchange, and I sold it the next day. 100% without a doubt. Actually,
Dang,
I went to
13 plus overtime and raises. That's pretty good.
Yeah. But I couldn't. God.
I bet I just saw that.
But no,
Pretty dang good.
I went, but no, seriously, I played it, and I barely got maybe, I'd say probably 30 minutes of gameplay, and I was on it for probably an hour and a half, because the transition scenes took so damn long. It was ridiculous. But anyway, so BioWare and all its fans celebrate all things Mass Effect. This remastered version of Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3 will be together in one collection for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. It would also have forward compatibility and targeted enhancements on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. That's why don't they just bring it out for the PlayStation 5 now? That makes zero sense to me. Like, if you're going to pop it out on PlayStation 4, you might as well be popping out on PlayStation 5 instead of doing forward compatibility. That almost seems redundant to what you want to do. I mean, just bring it out for have a PlayStation 5 edition of it and an Xbox Series X edition of it. I don't know. They're dumb. BioWare's been very dumb. Mass Effect Legendary Edition will include single-player base content and DLC from Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3, with all the promo weapons, armors, and packs, and it will be remastered and optimized for 4K Ultra HD. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't play any games in 4K Ultra HD. Why? Because I don't have any equipment to do so. And also, I don't think any of my games play in 4K. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. But, I mean, if you guys got something to play in 4K, go for it. If you think 4K looks better, I can't really tell the difference. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think 4K is really.
I don't think it's very hype. I mean,
I know, like it. Like maybe 4K TVs for watching movies, but like for like a gaming setup, like it caps your FPS at 60, I believe.
Yeah, 60 FPS.
So like it's a big drawback for a very little like improvement. So I know most people still opt for 1920 by 1080p, or I don't know what
144 hertz is really the solid one you want. But I mean, like, I wouldn't play anything on 4K because that almost seems like a waste of time to play it on 4K. In all honesty,
yeah.
I mean, we have 8K coming out pretty soon here, and I mean, I don't even know the difference between 4K and 8K and how much better 8K is than 4K. Like, what the hell are we watching? Like, I don't know.
Well, if you think about it, the more and more pixels you go up, like the less and less the improvement's going to be. So over the years, they're gonna just like the curve is gonna start to like level out to where like
it's just gonna plateau.
You're not gonna get that much better. Like
it's not gonna feel like real life unless you're in a VR scenario where you're there in person with it happening. So like maybe in the future when VR gets to the point where you can literally just lay down and you don't have to move or do anything and you're doing it all with your mind, like that is a possibility where it's just the system's reading your brain. Watch movies and play games, yeah, it'd be great. Which is a flashback to SAO, but no, like, and you could watch movies like that. I mean, yeah, it would look so much better, and it would look so real, and you'd be so into it. But no, I mean,
flashback to freaking Fahrenheit 451. We're all gonna be robots.
Well,
we're gonna be just in our rooms with our headset.
Yeah,
we're just gonna be living in our rooms,
in our parlors, looking at our TV on our TV walls because our walls are TVs, and then our freaking books are outlawed and we have to burn them up and get rid of them. And firefighters no longer put out fires; they're burning up books.
Yeah, that
crazy
right there,
crazy shit. I love that. That book was an amazing book. I loved it.
That book is an absolute bang,
dude. It's solid. If I had to say one of my favorite books is definitely that.
It's unreal that it came out when it did.
Bradbury makes some solid books. I mean, he makes some solid books. It's great. I can't remember the other guy who did some future predictions as well. There's,
1953. Like that book was like
unheard of. Jet cars
before its time.
Let me look. Hold on. And they can see. Looks really. Actually, my thing doesn't look bad. I thought my Google search would look bad, but it doesn't look bad at all. Because I looked up how to make gunpowder and how white phosphorus is made. That sounds really bad, but I was just curious because I was like, what actually entails these chemicals to be combined? Because I know black powder was made during by the Chinese during the 9th century, so I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Steve, if you need mercury as well, I think you can get them from like a thermostat.
Yeah, I don't need mercury.
You bust it open.
Mercury doesn't do anything.
I know exactly what you're building right now. And,
a nuclear weapon? Is that what I'm building?
Yep.
Mercury's not even radioactive. God.
You're building a bomb.
No, I'm not.
You're building a bomb.
It sounds really bad, but I'm really not. I was curious because I'm like, can you actually make it at home? And it's actually super simple. And I was like, there's no fucking way it's that simple to make it. So one of these days I'm going to have to try it out for science. God, so what was I thinking of? Talking about games. Fahrenheit 51. Um, writers who have predict. Uh,
Steve, why don't you do game reviews?
I've been thinking about it.
You should do them. That'd be entertaining. You should do one for Assassin's Creed, or maybe just another game. Maybe a cheap game. Maybe a game. It doesn't exactly have to be new. You could just drop it on.
Oh, well. George Orwell.
Any
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I can't. I couldn't remember his name. George Orwell. That's what it was. George Orwell was one of the people. That's what it was. Man, George Orwell and Ray Bradbury were definitely big on the future. We're getting a lot of things right, especially with Fahrenheit 451, and then it was like an 80s, something like that. 1980, I think it was. By,
it's unbelievable. That book is just like.
I mean, it's solid. I mean, they were like imagining these things in the 50s, and they were imagining flying cars in the year 2000. But I remember watching an episode with a couple different shows, but I think it was on actually. I think it was on. I keep wanting to say Tim Pool because it's not Tim Pool. Joe Rogan. It was Joe Rogan had Neil deGrasse Tyson on, and Neil deGrasse Tyson kind of discussed why hovering cars and flying cars aren't impossible, and he goes into depth, which was made pretty much sense. But as far as like Jack, your comment on doing game reviews, that was one thing I would love to do. Now the podcast wouldn't be for that, but maybe sometime in the future I can do some game reviews when we start making some money here, and I can afford to do so. Definitely, if I do game reviews, I'm not going to be doing them by myself. I will try to enlist the help of this great guy, Jack, here. I'll try to enlist the help of Marcus, if he wishes so, Wesley, and, just kind of get it figured out, hammered out. But no, I would love to do game reviews.
Wait,
I mean,
what,
if you guys,
what do we need our help for? What, sorry, I was typing something.
I got you. The game reviews. If we decide to do, game reviews, which will hopefully be in,
okay.
The future of some sort, it'll definitely take a lot of time. Maybe
you just gotta be, on it, like finish games.
Yeah.
As quick as you can.
Yeah.
Really, kind of appreciate what they are and go ham.
Right, and I can even do, some kind of like, do a little bit of it and kind of go over how I feel the storyline is, graphics, based on the overall gameplay and stuff like that. Those are some huge things, and maybe we'll do that in the future. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get back to what we're looking at here. VP Studio GM of BioWare Casey Hudson said the team at BioWare's goal was not to remake or reimagine the original games, but to modernize the experience so that fans and new players can experience the original work in its best possible form. Hudson also confirmed that a veteran team has been hard at work envisioning the next chapter of the Mass Effect universe. BioWare is only in the early stages of the project. It isn't giving any further details, but it is looking forward to sharing its vision at a later date. Now, good news is it shouldn't take them too long because they're going to have all of the source material to do so. They're going to have already the game that's already there, so all they'll have to go is just take a step by step, break it down, add more stuff in, change it up, but they have literally everything they need, so it shouldn't take them, a couple years. It should be done by, spring of 2021. If it's not, then they suck at doing it. It's kind of like, 2077. It was delayed, by the way, for 3 weeks, and recently some developers were getting death threats from fans because it was delayed for 3 more weeks, which, 2077 at this point, I'm not going to play it. I've been so disappointed in the fact that they cannot give us an actual date and they keep delaying it. It's just ridiculous. But the fact that people are giving death threats on it, no, absolutely not. Will not. That's not cool at all. I get you're mad, but dude, don't give death threats to developers and game companies and stuff like that because they have to delay a game. Now, if it gets too ridiculous and they keep delaying it, then don't fucking buy it. Just stop giving it hype, ignore it, and then when it comes out, you're fucking forgot that the game came out, and you won't even go get it, and then it'll tell them next time, hey, I guess we shouldn't have delayed so many times. So
I really dislike whenever I'd never agree with and this is what I thought when everyone was jumping on Game Freak about Pokemon Sword and Shield. Yeah, they definitely were doing some stuff wrong, but it feels so entitled to me, to just whine at the developer while they're trying to make the game, because a lot of the times that the actual people writing the code, the actual developers have no control over any of that. They just have a lot of overhead that are trying to push the game out faster than they want to.
Yeah, I mean, they're setting dates for this game. They're like, hey, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah, and with Pokemon Sword and Shield, I never got the game. I thought it was dumb how they were going about releasing it. With they definitely messed up, and they definitely their PR response to it was atrocious. But going at the developers' heads, why would you even do that? That's just stupid. These guys, a lot of those guys have no control over delays, over the deadlines. They're just making games.
100%. 100%.
You shouldn't freaking, especially not death threats, but even whining about it is so entitled.
Yeah, we're too busy living in an era where we can get things now. So used to, when you needed information, you had to go out to your local library, you had to read through a book to find it. You're reading through newspapers. Now you just get on your phone, look at Google. I mean, used to, it took forever. You have to get on your computer, boot up your computer, get the internet going. The internet would take forever because it was dial-up. Now we just live in an age, in an era of, now. We get our stuff now, and it annoys people when they don't get it right away. And I'm just like, guys, just patience. Just wait for it. It's not a huge problem. You're not going to die for waiting. That's just, I'm sorry, but, it just happens. Now, I will say, it's just ridiculous. You never, ever go after them. So the best way to explain how their game developing is going to work when it comes to when Jack talks about overhead and stuff, let me go ahead and explain some stuff. So when you're building, say, a new tech facility, so this is going to be like a telecommunications facility or just a hospital or something. When you build it, one, you have the people who are going to do the plumbing. You have the people who have to do the tap out construction, which means putting up the wood and the metal and everything to frame the building. You have people who have to put in the glass. You have people who have to finish the plumbing and gas. You have people who have to do the electric. Run all the wires for electricity. You have to have people that run all the wires for security equipment. You have to have people that finish putting in the drywall and the framing and get that done. You have people who have to work on, once that's finished, making sure the walls are painted, making sure more security stuff's finished, making sure that the plumbing works correctly. There is so many steps to this building. Once you get to a certain point, it literally has nothing to do with people building it. It has everything to do with the PR. It has everything to do with the CEOs and everything trying to push out a game to get you to come to it and play it, and they want you to play it and get this huge hype for it. But then they don't understand that, hey, this takes some time. There's some kinks we got to work out. I mean, this is also going to be an online game, so you have to think they really want this thing to pop off right at the beginning. And if the developers don't feel that it is ready, then they're going to tell them, look, this is not ready. This doesn't look good. This is not right. These are some bugs we're having. Stop telling people. Delay it for 3 more weeks. We should be able to get it finished, so on and so forth. I guarantee you, everyone is working overtime right now trying to get this game finished for you. So
yeah,
if you're getting pissed off because the game's taking too long, look, 2077, it looks like it's a good game. It sounds like it's a great game. I mean, it's a very inclusive game. I mean, you could be a transgender if you want to. It's a huge game. So the thing is you have to wait for these people. They have time. They have to work through a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of things going on. You can't rush them. They know how to get it to you best when everything works. If it doesn't work and it doesn't look good, then guess what? When you get it, it's going to be shit and you're going to want your money back.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
they're going to charge you $60, whether it's done or not.
So, I mean, the thing is, I would wait the 3 weeks.
You want it to be done.
100%. And if you don't wait the 3 weeks, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's taken 3 weeks. It may take another 3 weeks after that. But the fact of the matter is, you need to give the developers time. maybe even try to reach out to the developers and be like, hey, what's causing, is there a way that I can get information on what could be causing the delay? You know, is there any development the problems? Is there any glitches? Is there any problems in the system? You know, is there something that you're allowed to tell me that I could find out? Try doing that on Twitter. Try you know, going to their site and trying to contact someone and be like, hey, I would really love to find out, you know, what's going on, so it can kind of be spread, so we understand, hey, this is the reason why it's taking so long, you know, or, you know, it's taking so long because there's some final touches that really need to be touched up on, otherwise it'll look like shit. Like, come on, guys, like, grow up, be adults, figure it out. I don't care if you're a child. If you're a child listening to this, grow up, be an adult. All right, it happens. All right. Okay, we're gonna go on more into this Mass Effect. So they shared an image to tease fans. I don't know how this looks literally any better. This kind of looks, I mean, like the ship doesn't look horrible. The water has some good, you know, good glinting from the sun. This sun, I'm assuming that's a moon. I'm assuming that's a moon or a planet. I don't know. But really good reflection off the water. The ship still looks like it's kind of painted a bit. So do the people, which I'm assuming they probably did that on purpose, but I'm going to be honest, it's not that great to look at. Mass Effect was first released on Xbox 360 in 2008 and began an epic trilogy where your choices mattered and would carry with you through the next two games. Mass Effect 2 was released in 2010. Mass Effect 3 ended the story in 2012. BioWare also released Mass Effect Andromeda in 2017 and to the series in a different direction. It took the series in a different direction, went away from the story of Commander Shepard. I'm going to be honest, like they said, a lot of articles were saying this was a shitty game and it shouldn't have happened and it shouldn't have been a game in general and should have just tossed it out 100%.
It was bad.
Yeah,
really
it's
bad.
Definitely toss up. So next thing, Jack, you have seen The Witcher, correct?
No.
Oh yeah,
You have asked me this before.
Yeah, so I keep asking this dude if he's watched The Witcher, and he has not taken the time.
Because actually, I was needing something to watch because I just finished The Last Dance, amazing documentary, but I was like desperate for something to watch the other night, so I will. Yeah. Watch that now.
That's a solid show to watch. So this is not so far. This isn't any spoilers that I know of, but basically, Witcher Season 2, they had to shut down production after positive COVID-19 test. Netflix shuts down the production of Witcher Season 2 again, following multiple positive COVID-19 tests, but none from the main cast members. So that means, like, I'm assuming extras and stuff. Netflix shuts down production of The Witcher Season 2 after multiple positive COVID-19 tests. The first season of the highly anticipated adaptation of The Witcher books and video game arrived on Netflix in 2019, starring Henry Cavill and legendary monster hunter Geralt of Rivia. The show was an instant success for the streaming service. This response was exactly what Netflix expected, and it was already announced The Witcher was returning for a second season due to 2021. Yeah, it's not surprising that Netflix would assume that it was going to pop off because, one, there's a huge gamer base that would love it. There's a huge book reader base that would love it, and there's a huge base of people who liked watching Game of Thrones, but turned out that Game of Thrones ended up being shit the last 4 seasons. So this was what they went to. So basically they pulled in from a bunch of different people, and the trailers definitely caught people's eyes, and it's a solid TV series. So Jack, when you watch it, we definitely gonna have to go over it because it is an amazing TV show. The graphics are just amusing. They're beautiful. Everything looks good. It looks great for a TV show. It's like The Mandalorian. Mandalorian has amazing material, storyline, graphics. Everything looks just amazing for a TV show. I mean, I've seen some TV shows, from 2019, 2020 that look super cringy and are really bad when it comes to CGI and stuff like that. But no, these two do really, really amazing for TV shows. One being on Disney Plus and The Witcher being on Netflix. But ever since viewers have completed their binge watch of Season 1 last year, there has been plenty of interest in seeing The Witcher's story go next. So, by the way, The Witcher is usually about an hour-long episode, and I think there was like 8 episodes. It was solid. There have been some details and photos from Witcher Season 2, officially released by Netflix, but others have been teased through set photos. However, the frequency of these images arriving online have been sporadic, due to complications to filming caused by the coronavirus pandemic. The Witcher had to stop filming early in 2020 due to the UK's lockdown, but the cast and crew have been busy working for the last few months. So basically, The Witcher. I don't know if I can read you this, but I guess we will. Witcher Season 2, How Yennefer Survived and Where She Is. According to Deadline, filming The Witcher Season 2 is being halted yet again. You know, this has happened. I think this is pretty much repeating itself. The Witcher Season 2 had to go through resuming production in August. Nearly 3 months uninterrupted filming and seemingly zero positive tests during that time. Without knowing who has tested positive now, it is unclear if production could continue without those affected if everyone else continues to test negative. It was previously reported the filming of The Witcher Season 2 is set to continue into February 2021, but they will likely now extend the production beyond whatever end date they had in mind. The Witcher Season 2 is just the latest big Hollywood production that has to stop filming for some amount of time due to COVID-19 tests. Season 2 has already been through some changes due to the pandemic, as through Ørsted Rasmussen. Man, I did really good there.
Dude, I really hope the pandemic ends soon.
Oh, it probably will. It probably will. It's not a pandemic, though. It's really not. I mean, I think it'll go away. It's fine. It'll go away. Good news is the sunlight kills it instantly, so... Or artificial and natural sunlight kills it instantly. We're good to go. Bleach kills it. You know, do your normal stuff. Social distancing. Wear a mask if you want to. Don't wear a mask. I don't fucking care. I'm not going to tell you to wear one. I'm not going to tell you not to wear one. Do they kind of work? I'm sure they work in some instances and it blocks something, but I'm not a fucking doctor, so I can't tell you what happens. All I can tell you is hydrate, eat well, take your vitamins, get some sun, and clean shit. So, you know, pretty much all I can tell you about that. So Rasmussen left his role as Eskil after he tested positive, leading Basil Eidenbins to take his place. Meanwhile, showrunner Lauren S. Hissrich has previously said that the months-long shutdown allowed her and The Witcher Season 2 team to change the scripts and improve the story. Since production is at a standstill again, perhaps more improvements to the show, and presumably the final episodes of the season will be made. I wouldn't be surprised. That's almost like one of those good things is like you have to stop because you get so many positive tests, but then you end up with like, hey, I got plenty of time now that these were a little weird on the script wise and I didn't like it. Let's change it up, because sometimes if it seems a little off, the actors will put some of their creative input in if it's good. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some actors that are horrible and should not ever put their input in or make a movie, and all they should do is actually act. Let me go ahead and look up who has all played the Hulk, because I forget the name. There we go. There you go. Edward Norton. That is what I was thinking. Edward Norton. Yeah, so... guys, he should never have... He should have just played the Hulk, played the character, how they had it scripted out, because he was a freaking nut on set. So, but like I said, some actors will put some creative input.
Well, he was the Hulk.
He was nutty, dude. I mean, he wanted to have more lines and make it about him.
For the role.
No, it was not. It was horrifying. They didn't think he was going to be that way, and he ended up having to like trying to change a bunch of the script, and they were like, "No, stop." I mean, it was bad. I think that's why it ended up being kind of a shitty Incredible Hulk movie. But you know, sometimes actors do throw in some pretty solid, thoughts and stuff into redoing some of the things. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and get into the Amanda Heard shit that's going on with Johnny Depp and people trying to kick her out of, get her kicked off of Aquaman 2. I won't go into that today because I don't know a lot about it. Also, I'm not here for politics, sexual harassment things. I'm not here for religious things. I'm here to provide you guys with entertainment. This stuff some news on a bunch of different things. This is supposed to be a podcast where you guys can relax, listen to me, whether you're going to sleep, driving to work, going to school, or even just chilling at home doing some work or just not doing anything. Good news is,
sitting in the bathtub.
True. That's also that too.
Podcast on full blast.
True, 100%. So we have some stuff on the AMD RX 6000 series. Release date, big Navi, specs, price, and performance for the new AMD series. So AMD has taken its wraps off its RX 6800 and RX 6800 XT and RX 6900 XT graphics cards, and they might be just that. They might be NVIDIA warriors.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
AMD RX 6000 series has been unveiled with 3 new cards, each offering more gaming performance than we've ever seen from Radeon GPU. These are serious, enthusiast class graphics cards, people. And according to AMD's own benchmarks, with sometimes faster performance than NVIDIA's RTX 3080 and 3090. The first 2 cards will be with us on November 18th, 2020, and the real big Navi card, the RX 6900 XT, coming on December 8th. Remember, don't pre-order. You're an idiot if you do. I've already told you multiple times I'll do it. So, Elbet, with the occasional big Navi thrown in there in passing. Big Navi is a fan-made title thought up long before we heard tell of the official name, and has since been used by AMD's CEO, Dr. Lisa Su, to refer to the company's next-gen GPUs. Regardless, all you need to know is to look out for the RX 6000 branding, and if these cards can topple NVIDIA's GTX 3000 series generation, I think it will.
I kind of just want to build a new gaming PC for the heck of it. I haven't built one in a while.
God, it makes me want to, but on top of that, I spent too much money on the past 2 that I have, so I can't really get another one.
It's been a minute since I've made one. Kind of just want to make one for the heck of it.
You probably should, to be honest.
I'll probably just sell it, or like maybe make one better than my own, and then just sell my old one.
That's usually a solid idea. That's what I would do. I've been thinking about like selling my streaming PC, but at the same time I'm like, I really need it right now. I might sell it later in the future. But so anyways, AMD has recently spent most of its time gaming around the mid-range of graphics performance. But with the RX 6000 series released this year, it is making a genuine assault on the high ground. High ground's always the best ground, 100 plus.
True.
The general belief had been that AMD had something up its sleeve, and for a while now, and that something has become known as Big Navi, a high-end GPU that can take the fight to the very top of the NVIDIA Ampere.
Yeah, I definitely need to look at GPUs if I really want to build another PC, because that's been a while.
Yeah,
like,
GPUs have...
Back when I made mine, like, the best GPU in the game was freaking... Maybe the 20 was coming out, but I think it was still the 1080 Ti was still the best.
Yeah, it was probably about that time, because I have a 2070 Super in my gaming PC, and I have a 1050 Ti in my streaming PC, which isn't an amazing graphics card, but I mean, it is what it is. Basically, NVIDIA Ampere line up and force the green team to take a knife to its eye-watering price structure with, they have a stupid high price structure, and for some reason AMD always does like these amazing GPUs and CPUs, and it's always at reasonable prices. It's not horrifying to try and get one. So whether AMD will be able to release...
Yeah, the only drawback is I remember like when they originally made one, it was their first video card, the Vega series. It was really buggy on release, like really, really bad. It was really cheap though. I mean, like as AMD always does, like it was really cheap. It was supposed to be a really good card, but it was just so buggy that I remember a lot of people that got it like regret it.
I mean, they've jumped up in quality like beyond belief, like in just a short period of time though, which is just blowing my mind.
I imagine they've gotten a lot better. It's just that their initial card was...
Oh yeah, I mean they've jumped up in quality and better pricing in such a short time against Intel and Nvidia and stuff like that. I don't know how Nvidia and Intel can. I think Intel owes Nvidia. I don't freaking know, dude. I just do this.
Mm,
I don't think they do. I could be wrong, but anyway. So for some reason, AMD is just catching up to them, and they're playing. They're playing lollygag. They're just They're lackadaisical in their work. They don't care about trying to compete with AMD because they're like, we'll hit them with the name brand. They'll take that. And we're like, pretty soon people are going to be smart enough to start buying the cheaper material that still outperforms you or does better. So I'm sorry, Intel, you're big dumb if you think that AMD is going to just keel over and you won't have to just compete against them. You will. Especially with these new graphics cards, I think you're going to have to compete with them. Nvidia is not going to be able to compete with AMD. If AMD keeps going the way it's going, AMD is going to be on very top, better price, better performance, everything. Especially multi-core processing, AMD just slaps in the very beginning, or on that spot anyways. Anyway, so whether AMD will be able to compete with the RTX 30 series is the big question on everybody's lips. From the AMD's own benchmarks, it looks like the RX 6800 XT and the RX 6900 XT cards are able to trade belows with the RX 3080 and RX 3090 respectively, and often beat them. At a glance, AMD RX 6000 series release, the first cards, the RX 6800 and the 6800 XT, will go on sale November 18th. Forgive me, I don't have Rona. With the RX 6900 XT coming in late, basically in December 8th, all this year, and all with some serious promise. So we're looking at some specs here for the CPUs because we got some specs results here. AMD's RX 6000 series GPU specs, the real RDNA2 big Navi big boy. The RX 6900 XT is the 80 CU GPU we've been expecting, with the RX 6800 and the RX 6800 XT cards coming in at 60 and 72 CUs respectively. All three cards are coming with 16 gigabytes of GDDR6. Awesome. AMD's 6000 performance. We're looking at the top card trading below the RX 3090 and 3090 in the RX 6800.
Should I get one of those cards for my new PC?
You probably should.
Just to test it out.
You probably should. The RX 6800 XT taking on the
I'm willing
RX.
to try it.
Dude, I would do it. Like, if you got the money to do it and you want to start building a PC, I would start getting the parts.
But I started at Walmart, and I will have money.
Make sure you'll have to get a good power supply. Basically, so trading blows with the RTX 3090 and RX 6800 XT taking on the RX 3080. The RX 6800 itself is shown as being often above the RX 2080 Ti, putting it quicker than the RTX 3070. AMD 6000 series pricing. The RX 6800 is tipping up with a $579 sticker price. The RX 6800 XT is going to retail at $649. The RX 6900 XT will come at a whopping $999. Wow, they are just at a price range that I don't know if you can beat. You can't beat those prices. Those are much better than Nvidia, and they seem to be performing better than Nvidia. AMD announced the first 3 Radeon RX 6000 series cards, and it's Where Gaming Begins, Episode 2 live stream, with the cards actually going on sale in November and December this year. So basically, guys, I would get ready, and I would go for a Radeon and AMD series graphics cards, because those graphics cards have been doing amazing, and so has been the GPU. So if you want to get something, you want to start building your own PC, my suggestion is get AMD. Not sponsored, by the way. They are not sponsored. But as far as like my experience goes, AMD is definitely better, top of the line. It's great for streaming, great for gaming and multi-core processing.
AMD is doing
solid.
God's work. I mean, they
100%. I mean, they're even in Teslas.
They release gaming gaming equipment for, like, You're a guy that doesn't have $1 million.
Yeah,
Intel releases equipment. That's great and all, but they release equipment for like a business that's buying like 20 processors at once in bulk for way too much money each.
Yeah,
That's Intel's business model.
Intel is just a disgusting in terms of that goes, and AMD has been doing just
I mean, like Intel is like Intel. Honestly, in my opinion, is like the norm, but AMD is the one that's like now we're gonna lock up the market, like the gaming market.
Yeah, AMD is definitely god tier when it comes
Very
to
smart.
their
They're catching up to everyone because of it.
Oh, 100%. They're definitely god tier when it's coming to their graphics cards and GPUs. We're going to go ahead and get to our last two final items, one of them being Alex Trebek has finally passed away. We knew that he was diagnosed with cancer. I don't think he was fighting it last I knew, but he did have cancer, was diagnosed, told all of us about it in 2019, and yeah, it was correct. So basically, he died at the age of 80. He's been on Jeopardy since 1984. Basically, he passed away peacefully at home early on Sunday morning, surrounded by family and friends.
Which one was Alex Trebek? Was he the old guy that was like?
He was He was the old gentleman on Jeopardy. He'd been on there since '84.
He sounds familiar. I just forgot who it was.
Yeah, if you saw his face, you'd know who he is. Basically, in March of 2019, Trebek was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. That is a brutal one. At the time, the host said was undergoing chemotherapy treatments, but intended to continue hosting his longtime trivia series. Earlier this year, he updated fans again to say that while there were not so good days that led him to question whether treatment was worth it, he realized he had become an inspiration and a cheerleader of sorts for the value of living and hope, and planned to live his life with as much zeal as humanely possible. Honestly, at that point, pancreatic cancer is one of those ones that's very, very, very hard to survive, and it's almost impossible when you're at stage 4.
Cancer sucks. It's awful.
Yeah, there's quite a few you can survive from, but pancreatic is one of the hardest ones to even survive from. And when you get to stage 4, there's no going back. I'm sorry, you're
I've talked to people
cause.
that have like gone through the cancer treatment and lived, and they're like, honestly, I don't know that I would do it again. It's just like,
yeah, it's brutal.
It's just awful.
There's some natural treatments. Either take the natural treatments and try to get rid of that way, or just don't do it and live your life to the fullest. That's all I can tell you. I mean, when you get to stage 4 pancreatitis,
what are the natural treatments?
Marijuana. 100%.
That can cure cancer?
It can't cure cancer, but it has been shown to get rid of several different kinds of cancer. It's definitely solid.
Dude, I feel better about freaking lighting up now.
Well, I mean, you're not at the age of 26, so I would feel pretty bad because your brain's not fully developed, so it's killing your brain cells right now. But when COVID-19 pandemic temporarily shut down Jeopardy, Trebek kept up his routine by writing a memo. What?
I don't believe that it kills your brain cells.
It does. I mean, it messes up your brain because you're not developed yet. It's like with alcohol. Published in July, the answer is Reflections of My Life. Took fans behind the scenes of the show and Trebek's own struggles with cancer. He said, I'm going to stick with this current protocol, and then that's it. He wrote of his plans for his chemotherapy. If it doesn't work, I'll probably stop treatment. And it wasn't an easy conversation, and it isn't any easier writing these words. Quality of life was an important consideration. I agree. If it doesn't work and it's not working for you, try something natural. If that doesn't work for you, just suck it up, and you know you're gonna die. Make the most of your life, because life is too short. Trust me, I have learned that very, very many times in my very short life and in just the past year. So I guarantee you, life is 100% short, and you would literally never know when it's gonna end. It's horrifying. So when you get that and you know your end date, and you know what your chances are survival, you either get the treatment and it doesn't work, you stop, you make your quality of life go up, and you live life to the fullest. That's pretty much the only thing I can tell you. Trebek resumed work this summer, and new episodes of Jeopardy began airing in September. The set had changed, plexiglass walls, socially distanced contestants, But Trebek's enthusiasm for education, insight, and trivia fueled the entertainment was unfazed. January's greatest of all time tournament was seen as a possible off-ramp for the host, but as Ken Jennings told Polygon at the time, it would be hard for anyone on the show or in the audience to imagine Jeopardy without the host. Alex is irreplaceable to me, Jennings said. The host's impact on his global audience may never fully stated, but earlier this month, one contestant gave what amounted to the ultimate tribute. Through tears, Burke Thakur thanked Trebek for always being there, hosting Jeopardy, and in his case, helping him learn English. This is what Trebek means to nearly everyone who tuned into the show over the years. And honestly, the way that I'm reading this, it sounds like I'm reading it like I'm literally a news anchor, which, by the way, I could totally be a news anchor. Not gonna lie, I do pretty good at fast reading. And I could make it look like I'm looking at a camera while I'm reading because the prompter would be just under it. So, I'm gonna be honest, Jack, I think I should get into the anchor business. But that's why I have a podcast, right?
You can do it.
100%. I got a beautiful ASMR voice ready for that to go.
True.
All right, we're going to get to our last thing, folks. So, the most famous paradox in physics nears its end. In a landmark series of calculations, physicists have proved that black holes can shed information, which almost literally sounds impossible based on the definition of a black hole, because everyone knows that a black hole sucks in everything around it. Its gravitational pull is so strong, even light literally cannot escape its grasps. So, we go into the article here from Wired. It says, in a series of breakthrough papers, theoretical physicists have come tantalizingly close to resolving the black hole information paradox and has entranced and bedeviled...
Hold up. What is tantalizing?
Tantalizing?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like... let me look it up. I think I know what it is, but I don't want to be wrong. Tantalizing. Tormenting or teasing with the sight and promise something of untouchable, unobtainable. Yeah, I had a feeling that's what it was.
Okay.
Anyways, but basically, it has entranced and bedeviled them for nearly 50 years. Information, they now say with confidence, does escape a black hole. If you jump into one, you will not be gone for good. Particle by particle, the information needed to reconstitute your body will reemerge. Most physicists have long assumed it would. That was the upshot of string theory, their leading candidate for the unified theory of nature. But the new calculations, inspired by string
how
theory...
are they supposed to know what happens when you go through a black hole?
There's a lot of data that happens right now. I mean, we can't send anything in there and get information back, from what I understand, but you can measure the way that it reacts and what it's reacting with around the universe. Especially when different materials come in contact with a black hole, how does it react? How would an organic life form react? There's a lot of things that scientists can do mathematically and with some models and stuff. But we have general ideas of stuff, and we start doing it and going over some of the calculations, and that's how we understand things. Especially when we had two black holes that were slamming into each other. That shit was crazy. They were trying to pull on each other, which was just nuts. If I remember correctly, I think one was slightly bigger than the other, but yeah. So, anyways, most physicists have long assumed it would. Got that. That was the upshot in string theory, their leading candidate for a unified theory of nature. But the new calculations that are inspired by string theory stand on their own with a nary of string insight. Information gets out through the workings of gravity itself, just ordinary gravity with a single layer of quantum effects. This is a particular role reversal for gravity. According to Einstein's general theory of relativity, the gravity of a black hole is so intense that nothing can escape it. The more philosophic or sophisticated understanding of black holes developed by Stephen Hawking and his colleagues in the 1970s did not question this principle. Hawking and others sought to describe matter in and around black holes using quantum theory, but they continued to describe gravity using Einstein's classic theory, a hybrid approach that physicists call semi-classical. Although the approach predicted new effects at the perimeter of the hole, the interior remained strictly sealed off. Physicists figured that Hawking had nailed the semi-classical calculation. Any further progress would have to treat gravity 2 as quantum. That is, the authors of the new studies dispute. They have found additional semi-classical effects, new gravitational configurations that Einstein's theory permits, but that Hawking's did not include. Muted at first, the effects come to dominate when the black hole gets to be extremely old. The hole transforms from a hermit kingdom to a vigorously open system. Not only does information spill out, anything new that falls in is regurgitated almost immediately. The revised semi-classical theory has yet to explain how exactly the information gets out, but such has been the pace of discovery in the past 2 years that theorists have already hints of the escape mechanism. So there is one theory, is that there's such thing as white holes, which is the exact opposite of black holes. Instead of it like absorbing information, it excretes information and just throws it out everywhere. Now, this hasn't been proven. From my understanding, as physicists have not proven that there is such thing as a white hole. That would be more of it starts getting into the realm of multi dimensions, universes, stuff like that. So I haven't heard anything from them like, hey, white holes exist. There hasn't been any headlines. I mean, that would be massive. You find out you got a white hole in space that is just excreting information, just pushing out just gross amounts of matter. I mean, it would be definitely top news, but I haven't heard anything since. So basically, I think that what they're trying to refer to is a white hole. So somehow a black hole starts to act like a white hole, which makes zero sense to me, which is weird, and a bunch of stuff. I'm not a quantum physicist. I'm also not a physicist. I'm not a big science nerd, but I do like science, and one of the things is I would have loved to be a physicist when I was a kid. I also would have loved to be a chemical engineer as a kid as well, but I threw those out the drain real quick. But it's great, guys. So I'm gonna be honest. That's all we have for. Actually, I lied. We have one more item, and I'm big dumb. The last item, I said we had two. We have one last item. So basically, with the new Modern Warfare update from October 13th, you can now, if you are on PC, this does not apply to consoles. That means Xbox and PlayStation. I'm sorry, but you're out on this. PCs, you can now start removing content from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which means if you just want to have Modern Warfare, Warzone, you just want Warzone, you can have that. You can get rid of the co-op, you can get rid of multiplayer, and you can get rid of campaign. If you want just campaign and multiplayer, you get rid of the other two. I mean, it has a new section where you can now go ahead and get rid of specific parts of the game. So one, your updates aren't as long.
Call of Duty is probably the largest game ever made. It's literally like enormous.
Yeah, so you can now separate. So Warzone cannot be uninstalled.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Basically, you have to keep Warzone no matter what, but you can get rid of any of the other ones at any point in time that you wish to now, which is a great solution to the fact that they are pushing out massive updates. So, unfortunately, console players, I do apologize. You will not be able to get those. But yeah, that is actually everything I wanted to talk about today. So, guys, this has been a long episode, and I've been super
Raze
grateful
Energy
to do it. This is also an ambassadorship with Raze Energy. So, like I said, all that stuff's gonna be in the description. Jack's Twitch will be in the description as well as mine. So, if you would,
I'm gonna stream a lot soon because
good. Because Jack's got
I
a new.
got a lot more time, a little more steady now. I'm gonna be streaming.
Good, yeah.
It's gonna be lit. You guys need to get on over.
Seriously, go ahead and get in the description if you haven't already. Like I said at the very beginning of this episode of Press Start, go ahead and press like, that wonderful like button, the bell, and subscribe. Go ahead and share this with your friends if you have not already. We are trying to kind of embrace ourselves and bring out a brand new, better version of YouTube than what we originally started with some years ago, which some of you may know or some of you may not know. Jack and I used to be in a YouTube group, and it was not great. We did not work hard enough for it. But no, this time I think it'll be solid. So guys, I appreciate everything. Seriously, if you haven't already, please go follow Jack. Please go follow myself. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah, I'm
Turn on
actually
the
really
notification
close
bell.
to affiliate, so
Yeah.
it would be real nice if you guys go and follow.
He's close. Go ahead and give him that like. I'm close to 100 follows right now, which is amazing. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and follow. Share this with your friends. Get it out there. Use it all social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Parler. I don't care. Use it. It's great. Even Periscope if you can. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate it. It's been a fun time, and I'll see you next week in the next episode. Don't forget, another episode will be coming out for this next week. Once we get to episode 20, all of this is going to go on Apple Podcast. This is going to go on Apple and Spotify. So, guys, we appreciate it, and we will see you next week.